Alright, so I decided to finally get around to recording some of my matches. Right now I'm playing this version of Maverick. Um, I'm actually closing out my last league that I was playing, so I'm going to go ahead and try and queue up a match here. But for the time being, I'll show you the deck. Got some Thalias, Stone Forges, Swords to Plowshares, Mother of Runes. Um, Pretty typical list. It's very close to Thomas Herzog's list, just I cut a Sylvan Library for a Stoneforge Mystic, and I cut the Sword of Light and Shadow for a Batterskull. The sideboard, I'm trying a couple things because Miracles is gone from the meta. Um, I still have my two chokes because I really like those versus Delver, and I figure people will still be trying to play blue control decks, trying to make something work in the leagues. Um, so I have the chokes. I've got my four Thoughtseizes for combo, a couple Canonists for all the storm decks, two Zealous Persecution, two Abrupt Decay, and then a Bajuka Bog, Pithing Needle, and Crop Rotation. I think I don't really need the Crop Rotation Bog package. I think maybe a couple Gaddock Teagues or maybe like a Gaddock Teague and a Surgical or something might be better. Also I could probably cut the fourth Thoughtseize for another Hate Bear because I feel like I want more Hate Bears right now. Um, there's a lot of Storm out there, and a lot of Storm is playing Dread of Night right now, so the more Gaddock Teagues you have, the better that matchup is. Um, the Zealous Persecutions I might want more too because there's a lot of Elves in the leagues right now. Um, I've played it, I think, 30% of my matches. I was playing Grixis Delver previously, but 30% of my matches since the banning of top have been versus elves, so um, something to think about, maybe adding more Zealous Persecutions. Gaddock Teague also kind of pulls a little weight in the elves matchup too by turning off Natural Order and Green Sun Zenith. Um, so it stops a couple of their routes to victory. Um, so far I've played against a blue-red Delver deck. Played against this guy who's playing, I think, blue, white, red. Um, Geist of St. Traft. He's playing a Geist deck. And this guy was playing Sneak and Show. Got there in 2 games, which was nice. I just had a pretty good draw, and I kept him off balance. He didn't really have any of the explosive show and tell draws that have like a soul land and an island and a show and tell. And I had a Caracas in my hand, I think, game 1. Game 2, I just was able to get some good Hate Bears. So, alright. Gonna close out this league here, see if I can pull off a 4-1. I have no idea what this guy plays. I don't think I've played against him before. Alright, this hand looks pretty good. Turn 1, Mother of Runes. Turn 2, Thalia or Stoneforge Mystic. I'm going to keep it. I do have to fetch a non-basic land with my Verdant Catacombs, so I can make white mana for the Mother of Runes and Thalia, so that does give my opponent a chance to like wasteland me off a color here. Alright, Swamp, Deathrite Shaman. Probably something like Shardless, or maybe a Lurin, Food Chain. I'm going to fetch out of basic planes and play Mother of Runes so I can be wasteland proof. That Windswept Heath was actually a pretty decent draw because it let me get a basic land. Alright. Alright, Thoughtseize, that's fine. This could be Jund actually too. Or Junk. He's probably going to take the Thalia or the Stoneforge, but I could see him taking any of these cards. I could see him making a case for any of them. We'll see what he decides on here. Alright, he takes the Thalia. Thalia is pretty good against the mid-range decks. It can really stop them from curving out very well. Okay, so it looks like it might be some sort of junk or Deadguy Ale type deck. Alright, Bob. So this could actually be a pretty tough matchup. I think I'm going to just play Stoneforge and get Batterskull. Hopefully he doesn't play anything like a Liliana or something like that, because then I kind of have to decide. Okay, he reveals a Tassiger. That domes him for 5, so that's pretty good for me. I don't have much of a clock yet, but the more damage he takes off of his Dark Confidants, the better. He scoops? What the heck? That's weird. I don't really understand why you would give up in that position, but anyhow, I think I'm going to cut the Gaddock Teague. Don't think Teague is very good versus, you know, junk decks. He doesn't really turn off anything. I'm going to cut a Mother of Runes and a Noble Hierarch, because he's probably going to bring in some sweepers, and those cards just don't really do enough against those. I think, let's see, so he probably has Lingering Souls, but I'm not sure. We saw Tassiger, we saw Deathrite Shaman, we saw Bob, so I think I'm going to bring in 2 Abrupt Decays as more answers for Deathrite Shaman and Dark Confidant, and I think maybe I actually will bring back in a Mother of Runes. It's between that or a Zealous Persecution. I think actually I'll bring in 1 Zealous Persecution, and then if we see Lingering Souls, we can actually bring in another for game 3 if we lose this game. Alright, this hand is great. Turn 1 Deathrite Shaman, turn 2 Knight. Number of good plays with this hand. And we've got swords for an early Deathrite Shaman. Alright. I think I'm going to lead off with Caracas Swords. Caracas will be really handy if he tries to play a Tassiger too. Being able to just bounce a Tassiger is huge. Alright, Thoughtseize, he'll probably either take my Swords to Plowshares or maybe a Deathrite Shaman, depending on what his hand looks like. Deathrite Shaman probably does the most work. You know, he could take a Knight of the Reliquary actually and then leave me without much power, although Green Sun Zenith is so powerful that oh, and it looks like he's stuck on 1 land, so this might actually be a pretty easy game. Since he's stuck on lands, I don't think I have to worry about Wasteland too much. I'm just going to play a Thalia, and then next turn I'll have Thalia with Caracas up, so I can bounce it back to my hand if he tries to remove it. And now I've cut him off quite a few plays, I think. Well, he played another land now, so probably still quite a bit he can do, but I'm just going to attack. Alright, so here, I think I'm just going to play the Knight, and then if he removes my Thalia, I don't really care. I think from this position, he'd much rather remove the Knight, because the Knight threatens his mana base. Okay, so he immediately scoops. Wow. So that was kind of an uneventful 2 games, but yeah, got some good prizes, so I will try and record some more matches. Thanks for watching.